From Neural Newscast, this is Deep Dive, exploring the moments that shape today.
Welcome to Deep Dive from Neural Newscast. I am Thatcher Collins.
And I'm Noah Feldman. It is April 5th, 2026, and today we're looking at a date that spans everything from the clash of heavy armor on a frozen lake to a celestial visitor landing in a Scottish quarry.
That frozen lake clash is perhaps one of the most cinematic moments in medieval history. On this day in 1242, Russian forces under Prince Alexander Nevsky faced off against the Teutonic Knights in the famous Battle on the Ice. It played out on the frozen surface of Lake Peipus, right on the border between modern-day Estonia and Russia.
Exactly. It was a pivotal moment for the Northern Crusades. The Teutonic Knights were professional warriors in heavy armor, but Nevsky used the terrain to his advantage. The image of the ice cracking under the weight of the knights has become legendary. Even if the reality was slightly more grounded, the result was a definitive rout that solidified Russian borders for centuries.
Nevsky's victory wasn't just a military win, it turned him into a national hero and eventually a saint in the Orthodox Church. It is a classic story of survival against a technologically formidable foe. But speaking of the foundations of society and how we survive together, we also have a massive birthday today in the world of philosophy.
You must be talking about Thomas Hobbes, born in 1588. He is the man who famously described the natural state of humanity as solitary, poor, nasty, brutish, and short. His 1651 work, Leviathan, basically laid the groundwork for modern political philosophy by suggesting we need a strong, absolute sovereign to keep us from destroying one another.
It is a very realistic, some might even say cynical, view of human nature, Noah. But that focus on the social contract, the idea that we give up some freedoms in exchange for security, is something we still debate in AI ethics and global governance today. It is all about creating order from chaos.
And while Hobbes was looking at the structure of government, our next birthday figure was focused on the structure of opportunity. Booker T. Washington was born on this day in 1856. He rose from slavery to become the most prominent black leader of his entire era.
Yeah, his work was incredibly practical. He founded the Tuskegee Institute in 1881, which focused on vocational training and economic self-reliance. He believed that building skills and economic power was the most viable path towards civil rights in the post-Civil War South.
That practical framing is something I find myself looking at a lot. His 1895 Atlanta Exposition address was controversial because he prioritized economic progress over immediate political agitation. But there is no denying his impact. He was even the first African American to dine at the White House, invited by Theodore Roosevelt in 1901.
Moving from philosophy and education to the arts, we also celebrate the birth of Spencer Tracy in 1900. He is often cited as the ultimate actor's actor, someone who brought a rare, naturalistic depth to the silver screen.
Tracy was a powerhouse. He won back-to-back Oscars for Captain's Courageous and Boys Town, and he stayed at the top of Hollywood for 4 decades. If you look at the 75 films he made, you see a master of the craft who influenced everyone who came after him.
Now, while those figures were making their mark on Earth, Noah, something actually fell from the sky on April 5th, 1804. A 4.5-kilogram stony meteorite crashed into a quarry near High Possil in Glasgow, Scotland.
That's remarkable. This was the first recorded meteorite fall in Scottish history. According to a report in the Herald and Advertiser at the time, workers heard what sounded like cannon fire, followed by a violently whizzing noise. One man was even up in a tree and scrambled down because his overseer thought some kind of divine judgment was coming upon them.
It created a hole 18 inches deep. Even a dog was reported to have run home in a total fright. What is truly significant is that this occurred right at the birth of meteorite science. Fragments of that very stone are still kept in the Hunterian Museum in Glasgow today.
It is amazing how a single day can bridge the gap between medieval battles on ice
the birth of modern political theory, and a literal rock falling from space.
It certainly gives you perspective on the sheer breadth of history. That is our look back for today. I'm Thatcher Collins.
And I'm Noah Feldman. Deep Dive is AI-assisted, human-reviewed. Explore history every day on Neural Newscast at deepdive.neuralnewscast.com.
This has been Deep Dive on Neural Newscast, exploring the moments that shape today.